Ladies and gentlemen of the crypto space, it is 11:56 and I'm 4 minutes early because I just can't take this shit no more. I can't sit around waiting. I can't wait for things to change. I can't wait for things to happen. It's not about impatience. It's because I got to get stuff done. It's only a certain amount of time in the day. The time is now to do things. The time is 10 minutes ago to do things. And this is what's so frustrating in many regards about employment. You're doing things for other people on their time frame, their schedule. No, no, no. What happens if you know a better time frame, a better schedule, and you know how to get stuff done? It is frustrating. It is damn frustrating when you can't do things the right way. And even if you want to do things the right way, you're not doing it for yourself. You're doing it for some other schmuck that's making all the money. This is why employment's ridiculous. The whole system is ass backwards. I can't take it any longer. The heart of DeFi peering through the foam. The whole point of this statement is we got to see the truth. We got to see the big picture. We got to see the macro narrative. And frankly, this picture that I have up on the main screen is the deal. And what does this mean? This means since the dot-com bust in 2000, what they've done at the financial system level, the components of the financial system, particularly money supply and interest rate manipulation, deems that this is the inevitable future. And whether that's fortunate or unfortunate, I don't know. I'm not a person. It's unfortunate because of the humanitarian crisis. It's fortunate because it's so damn pathetic what they built. It's just pathetic. And what's so even more pathetic is that it's so obvious how ridiculously pathetic the Federal Reserve is, Jerome Powell and Minucci Bucci at the Treasury, that it's just like they're hanging on to garbage technology. Garbage. It's like let's run this country on DOS. And Minucci's like, yeah, that's a great idea, Jerome. Let's build a user interface in our DOS shell. And Jerome's like, yeah, that's cool. And like, no, you guys are a bunch of tools. It's like, where's the tech? Now, you got there's a capacity to be critical of China, no doubt. Humanitarian, politics, military, what have you. But those motherfuckers have the BSN base. Those now, you guys know about the DeFi based. The BSN base, China's based. That is based. The BSN is the National Blockchain Initiative of the country of China. As in the government said, our old system is dead and we're going to build a new system. China has said this and they have been building it. China is making the U.S. financial system deprecated. In progress. Is that scary? Is that disappointing? Probably in some regards. Is it exciting? Yeah, good for them. Frankly, I'm happy to see someone on this planet not be a total tool, at least with regard to pushing technology forward. I mean, this is just obvious technology at this point that should be like widespread, used everywhere, and disrupting everything. The whole point of capitalism and free markets is that the best stuff is used. And everything that we have nowadays, everything is the status quo holding on. Like, we can't let go of banking because we're so dependent on it. No, the banks are pathetic. Look at this picture. This is exactly the truth. Yet their chase is like, oh, our money and our dollars and our ATM machines and our paper bills that we can turn into little airplanes and fly them to a shit heap. Waste of paper. Like, no, we need our paper. No! It's garbage. What's the matter with these people? I'm 37. Before I die, I hope there's smart people that start making decisions on this planet. This is a big vent day. This whole show right now is going to be straight up monologue about me just being so frustrated because, as I said, for my work, I'm able to see a path. I'm able to see things to be done, steps to execute. MacDad understands this from a tech perspective. Like, just I know how to fix things. I know how to build things, and I know how to do things in a timely fashion. I know how to iterate. I know how to crank the velocity of a sprint board. I know like the slowest thing in the world is dependencies, and if I have my damn dependencies, I'm going to crank through my tickets. And I'm like, nobody listens to me. I have no position of power. It's not that I want that. It's just so frustrating that things are so slow when there's such better ways to do things. And the worst part is these better ways are so damn obvious. It's kind of like you want to point at someone's head and be like, why are you so stupid? Is it on purpose? And this picture exemplifies that. It's crumbling. The financial system is crumbling right in front of everyone's face. And all they do is see the stupid stock market go up. And they just can't even see the truth right in front of them. Because this, what's on the screen, is exactly what's occurring in real time. And nobody sees it. And that we see it. Everyone on this channel sees it. But I got a whopping 600 and change people that follow me, and maybe 3,000 people on Twitter. And clearly there's a lot of other people in the crypto space that see this, but you guys realize this is a fraction of a percent of the population, and the rest of the population is like an ostrich with their head in the sand. They have no idea what's going on. They frankly, unfortunately, they can't understand it properly, even if they tried. You know, no disrespect to David Portnoy. Guy's worth a lot of money. He did it right. But he doesn't understand this. He doesn't understand what's going on. It just is what it is. Anyway, I just ranted for must be 10 minutes. Who's in the chat? I got Mac down in the chat. I got Captain Weber, my man in the house. Stoff's in the house. Night for you. 12 o'clock in the afternoon for myself. Always a pleasure. James, yes. Igor, what's up? James Plock. Fed serves their masters. My goodness. Listen, best monologues on YouTube. Thanks, Igor. Yeah, damn the Fed, man. You know, it's just so ridiculous. I obviously on Twitter we'll get into a little bit of politics because we see this left versus right, and I just don't give a shit. I don't get involved. I know the right hates the left. I know the left hates the right, and I just I sit back on this street right here, and I'm just watching all this shit play out, and I'm like, no, I don't care about either one of you people. And I wrote a Twitter post the other day, where's the geniuses? Where's the people that actually have brains? Someone call them. Someone call the hotline and say, hey, genius with brains, please come help. Please, I can't do this anymore. Help us. And, it's just so frustrating. Anyway, so this picture. That picture brought up all those thoughts today. What do I have in the bookmarks? Oh, this was a cool one. I want to talk about XRP for a second. Now, I like XRP. That's the kicker. So how big is a trillion? The general public, the Federal Reserve is printing trillions, and they have no idea. The general public has no idea what $1 trillion is and how destructive it is, and just. The reason they're printing it is because they're hanging on so bad. I don't want it to change. I feel like Powell and Minucci Bucci are crying I don't want the dollars to go away. I don't want it to change. That's kind of like what it is. Please, dollar bills. No, $1 trillion is a huge amount of money. Anyway, so crypto, XRP. Let's talk about this one for a second. I like XRP. What is that? Flare. I don't want to pull it up. It's too slow. But Flare is gonna is a tokenized representation and possibly like smart contract consumption of XRP. Yeah, that's great. That's cool. This is really big tech. And this is very important for the folks on this channel to understand. AM from Stockholm in the house, Sweden in the house. It is a pleasure. I love the geographical diversity of the channel. Yes. All right, so XRP is great, great tech. Um, we could dive into the subtleties, and there's comparisons to Bitcoin, and there's comparisons to all of this distributed ledger technology. But the point being, in the end, all that matters is what is occurring. And now look at this. Yeah, 65% of Bitcoin is mined in China. No, I'm not okay with that. There's a huge amount of energy you consume compared to XRP. I'm not okay with that. There's a massive transaction fee compared to XRP. I'm not okay with that. What am I not okay with? Investing in XRP. This graph is shit. So you can have the best macro narrative in the world that says you're so much better than Bitcoin, but the price of the asset is going to go nowhere. And that's what the honest truth is. Look at this, man. Nobody in their right mind should be putting money into this. This is so dangerous. Look at this. On the weekly, it is overbought. On the weekly, what are we in 2022 and the bull run is over? I mean, there's only one direction this goes for, unknown amount of time. You're overbought. This will go down. Maybe you get down to here and you're probably down here around 1700, which is what was that? 724, 7.20, 30%, 33% drop from where you are, give or take. I mean, come on, man. No one. So this is how you allocate funds. This is position sizing. This is never go all in, never spread too thin. Sure, here. This is a good example. The chart says this thing is going down. Now, what happens if it goes up? If you have 100 grand invested in crypto, throw 1%. Throw a 0.5%. The odds are it's going to get cut by 30-40% over the next couple of weeks and months as this weekly chart pulls back into the 50 range on the Stoke. And eventually you would love to see it get to 50 and then turn around. And that's a bullish sign. And then you'd love to see it punch through, get to like 33, 33. And then you'd like to see it fall back and bounce off the guppies and then go up. There's nothing bullish about this chart. Why? Why is there nothing bullish about this chart? Because look at this. Here is the monthly. No, weekly. Here's the weekly for Lend. So here's XRP. Looks like it has a ton of resistance. It's overbought on the weekly Stoke. And then you go to Lend and you're oversold, bullish signal cross. This is incredible. Look, everything's pointing up. That is a massive bullish confluence. This is the bullish signal cross. The MACD has bullish momentum. The signal line is ascending. The guppy averages, the short-term moving averages, are ascending. And then to top it all off, on the shorter time frames, look, you're oversold even on the 4-hour, and you're way above the 200 EMA. This is where you place value. Now, if you want to get really crafty and protect value, then you're trading. And that'll come. I'm going to talk about what I've chosen to do towards the end of the stream. Don't let me forget what I want to talk about. I want to update you guys what I'm doing for myself, and everyone can make choices for themselves based on everyone's choices. What's going on in the stream? Let's take a peek. Fluger family backs XRP. I don't know what that means. XRP is cool. It's good tech, but I just showed you the price. That's not going to go anywhere. Based on technicals, it's not. It can't appreciate. Just can't. It's too inflationary. It's like 27% inflation because of the escrow emissions. ZRX, huge move. Click says, damn right. No idea what open annex is. Don't have time. Igor says, yeah, man, I don't know. It's red, Igor. What am I supposed to say? I gave my rant about XRP. Tech is cool. Flare is cool. Has nothing to do with the price. The tech is cool and it's very useful and it could change the world. The price of the asset's not going to go anywhere. Adoption is going to mean nothing. You should wonder why they're selling, though. Yeah, I don't know. Portnoy will buy XRP. Look, Dave, there you go. Portnoy will buy XRP next week. So the chart looks freaking horrible, but Portnoy will throw money in there and rally the army, and boom, it goes up 10,000%. So I don't know. That's the whole thing. But that's position sizing, risk reward analysis, so on and so forth. My man, that's a good one right there. It's a deal. They have to. They can't keep it right. They have to liquidate. Igor says. Was just trying to learn about Cardano smart contracts. Reserve brought up Cardano smart contracts. There is no Cardano smart contracts. It doesn't exist. They want to build it. It's the next iteration of the platform. Now, cool. That's great. So right now everyone's buying Cardano. Not because of what it does. It doesn't do anything. It literally does nothing right now. They're buying it because they think it will do something. And it will. The smart contract platform, when, it's more when than if. I think they're dedicated. They'll get it released. Sounds disruptive. But by the time Cardano smart contracts come online, you got um, uh, uh, um, oh my God, you got Elrond, you got Tezos, you got I don't know. Come on, break up the platforms. You got Polkadot and Cosmos. I mean, come on. By the time Cardano gets off the ground, it's got competition all over the place. I would not. I could not allocate funds to Cardano. I don't see it being competitive. What's it going to compete against? Four different massive technologically powerful ecosystems working together because in a year or two from now, RENS is going to bridge the gap between everything. We're going to have cross-chain assets going on all over the place and probably cross-chain smart contract interactivity and offloading of contract execution to other chains, maybe even like dependent on current consumption. Like if gas is cheaper on Ethereum, execute on Ethereum, but maybe if it's cheaper to execute on Polkadot or Cosmos, you execute over there, like a load balancer type of thing. MacDad. MacDad's gonna get. He's like, we're gonna load balance all these blockchains. um, right? So I don't have any thoughts on AOAX. I don't have time. Thank you. I just don't. I really don't. Candid's back. Can't believe it. There's a buzz around Theta? No idea around Theta. I don't have time. I barely have enough time to manage my own portfolio, let alone think about new assets to consider for the portfolio. Anyway, so where are we in the crypto space? This is where the dip came from. This is yesterday and today's dip. Because this paper, fun toy plaything, this the government prints us so we could go out and play with each other. And yeah, serious things, no doubt. Buy food, pay rent, and just, play money. So we could play this game. Decided to go up in value, probably about a whopping 80, 90 cents. Like, oh, it went up 90 cents relative to other assets. Is this even cents? This is, I don't know what it's, yeah, US dollars. So it went up relative to other fiat. This is a currency index against the bucket of other fiat, predominantly the euro. That's what the DXY is. And it went up. So everything else went down. because that just makes sense. That's the way it's supposed to be. Because in a logical, intelligent person world, if the value of a piece of paper goes up in price, like gold and like real shit should be destroyed in value because that makes sense. Paper is more valuable than like real things. Gold's down. Looks like it has a bit of. Look at the resistance. This little section right here looks like Ripple. Looks like XRP. Look at this giant resistance lines, man. When you see the guppies spread out like this, like it's spread out like you see it like that instead of like this and coiling in, and I mean sometimes it really gets super duper coiled. This is a lot of resistance to get through to chart trending in the other direction. I mean, look at that. That's even worse. You see, but look, here's the compression. And this is the type of compression, like, look, you see this, look at the RSI going up. So it would compress here and then break out into overbought and break through like a 200 EMA, and that's how that would play out. But it's going to break through in a compression. You're not going to see a breakthrough like all of a sudden, bam, red guppies are going to break to the upside. No. It's even worse. Oh, goodness, look at this. Look at all this resistance, and we're overbought on the Stoke. Ay, poor gold. You can take a rip to the downside, is what it is. Candid, happy you're good. Good to see you. How did you see the market in the next 4 weeks? I have no idea. I don't know how to see the market in the next 20 minutes. Who knows if it's going to go up or down? No one knows anything. And that's why investing sucks. But what do you want to do investing? You want to be in position to capitalize on gains. You want to protect your gains, minimize losses, maximize the upside. And we have our strategies and catchphrases that we say nowadays in order to achieve that. Never spread too thin, never go all in, got to be diversified, stuff like that. Protect those gains. Now, bear in mind, this is where I kind of wanted to head with what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. Glenn says, I'm not picking on XRP. There's nothing to pick on. XRP is cool tech. It is downright disruptive, planet-changing technology. But the damn price has nothing to do with that. So that's, if you're investing because you think you're going to make money, that doesn't make any sense. Like, when you invest at Ripple, in XRP, if you're a bank and you want to have a way to transmit like billions of dollars to the other side of the planet, you need XRP to be able to transmit that value. That's why you would buy it. And in that case, that makes sense. But if for some reason, looking at these technicals, you're like, oh my God, this thing's going to go to like, I don't know, 50,000 tomorrow with $587 in XR. Come on, guys. I mean, at least there's got to be a rational person to say there's a whole lot of red here and it's overbought on the Stoke. I mean, as I've shown, these aren't just lines. These are very meaningful psychological indicators that are indicative of prevailing trends and really pierce through into the mental state of a group of individuals participating in a market. And when I say a group of individuals, I'm talking about all the people in the market. This is reflective of the mental state, the psychology of thousands upon thousands of people that have bought and sold assets over periods of time. That is what these guppies are. These are averages, average prices over time. You see trends, you see slope. Is something going down? Is something going up? Here's the pressures. Your Stoke doesn't have enough pressure to push it to either in one direction or another. And here's your MACDs, is your trends. This is somewhat your guppy. Is it going up? Is it going down? And you have your signal crosses. Is something going to change direction? These are not just lines. This is real. And that is 5,000 tons of concrete, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think about Algorand? I don't know enough about it to talk about. Is that another ecosystem project? I'm pretty sure it is for my limited understanding. Yeah, look, it's another blockchain. How many fucking blockchains are there? Come on. At this point, I think Polkadot has a serious implementation, and this is what I have up here. I've been looking more into Polkadot, trying to understand it as best possible. It's going to be quite technical. In some regards, I'd have to study, but the parachains and the parathreads and how the core governance is done. So basically, you got blockchains where Dot, you're staking with Dot to facilitate uh, uh, so the validators handle the state transitions of the parachains. So basically, there's this core, and then you got these parachains around it, and the core is validating the block, the transactions, and all the stuff for the parachains. So it's centralized. This is what's so cool about Polkadot, if you think about it. It's centralized, decentralized governments. They have a decentralized governance mechanism that's centrally controlling the parachains. Yeah, Gavin got a serious implementation. This is genius. I mean, this is genius. This is the relay chain. This is genius. So Tendermint and Cosmos is damn cool also. And I'd have to see something very interesting to even be interested in Algorand. I haven't looked into it. I mean, they want to catch DeFi because they use the word DeFi. Almost anything can scale to billions of users at this point. It's probably got some unique characteristics, but here's the thing. As I said, look at Digibyte versus Bitcoin. Digibyte is better than Bitcoin. The protocol properties are undeniably superior in all regards, like not even debatable at this point. It's not even debatable. But Bitcoin's Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going nowhere. Ethereum's going nowhere. Even if Polkadot makes Ethereum look antiquated and deprecated. I mean, even Cosmos makes it look antiquated and deprecated. Elrond and Tezos, everything makes Ethereum look antiquated and deprecated. It's just old. It's not. It's not based on today's potential tech, especially the Polkadot. This is genius. The more I understand it. Um, but for the love of God, as we talked about the other day in the stream, stop buying those ERC20s. That doesn't make any sense. Unless there's a bridge, or unless you understand more about it. Like, if you just buy it, listen, I could copy a smart contract and issue a token. Anyone could do that relatively quickly in probably like a couple days worth of work, tweaking up the parameters, your name, your initial supply, your max supply, and spend like $1,000 on a deployment to deploy the contract. Come on, guys. Now, bear in mind, you can make a lot of money with bullshit assets on Uniswap. You can make so that's the thing. You'll see an asset go up like 10,000% or 5,000%. What do you put in $100 in there, and you turn $100 into like $1,000, and you think that's life changing? And if you try and put 100 grand in there, nobody's. You're gonna own the market, and you won't be able to sell it because you'll collapse the price. So that's not how you make money. That's how you make peanuts. I saw on Twitter, I don't want to call names, but someone said, very, very prominent Twitter personality, crypto Twitter personality, down like 13% from 2020 all-time highs. And he's very prominent, like tendies and all that, the garbage, based and whatever garbage they're selling on Uniswap nowadays. And he's down 13%. Me personally, I'm down about 8%, all-time high 2020. And that's because I'm not buying or selling frequently. That's because I'm buying strategically and position sizing. And frankly, that's a big difference. That's 5%. 5% on 8% is whatever the point. That would be over a 50%. Whoever lost 13% compared to my 8% means I would have had to lose over 50% more than what I lost to catch up to their losses. So I managed my risk substantially better. Risk reward was a much more superior achievement for my portfolio. No, I'm not being critical. I'm not saying someone's doing something right or wrong. But that comes down to choices and psychology and what do we do? Why do we do it? How do we do it? And what is our goal? One of my goals is to not sit and babysit charts. So let me look at the comments real quick, and then I'm going to talk about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it and how I'm doing it. I'm going to run this stream and close it up. Charlie's in the house. Always a pleasure. Yeah. 3 months you talk. Kel says these months you talk about Ren, Kyber, Bancor, and Len. Could it be that in 3 months you talk about some totally different crypto? Probably not, unless something substantially meaningful comes along. Because am I don't trade garbage. Lend is going to evolve into Aave. Synthetics is systemically disruptive. Kyber is a hyper deflationary asset. Bancor is going to potentially change their governance, and their V2 pools are systemically disruptive. Now, if something else comes along that's new, it doesn't have the history. Bancor dates to 2017. Kyber dates at least, I think, to 2018. Len dates to 2017. Len dates to 2017. How about them apples? So no, Kel, I will not be talking about other assets. I may be talking about other assets in addition to the stuff that we talk about, but it's not like the assets that I very clearly talk about as systemically changing, disruptive of legacy financial systems. That doesn't go away. That doesn't change. That doesn't evaporate. That doesn't turn into something else. I mean, even Curve, this curve is crazy, and it's picking up. It has components of inflation, and locking, and so this reminds me of in some regards of synthetics. So they got parts of other smart contract DAO governance protocols going on. I don't fully remember all of it. I read it, and all I know is I have a lot of it. And I really hope that it goes to like $100 and I have like 2 million, $1.5 million worth of Curve in 2 years. That would be nice. Thank you, everyone. Please pump Curve to oblivion. That would be nice. PA does not equal FA. PA, uh, pantomime analysis. FA, fundamental analysis, and technical analysis. They're completely mutually exclusive, but they all contribute pieces of information that allow us to make the best decisions possible, and that's the whole point. Do you think it's still not too late to invest in Len, Ren, Synthetics, Kava, Atom? Man, I love those names. Man, that's my portfolio. Lend is going to change into Aave, and it's going to have a 16 mil max supply, 13 circulating supply, 3 mil is going to be used for incentives. Oh, that's crazy. Lend is going to be crazy. Ren should be just as big as Chainlink. It could easily go to 5-10 bill market cap or whatever the hell Chainlink's going to find itself at. There's no reason Ren can't be a couple of dollars. 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. Oh my god. So does it go there or does it not? I sure as hell don't think my dollar bills are going to go 10 times on the money. The fuck does that even mean? Bull market for US dollars, baby. It's coming. Yeah. Synthetics just goes up because of the SUSD mechanism. There's just such an incentive for supply disruption to participate in the ecosystem, and just the demand for the synthetic assets. And they're getting into futures, and they got options, and they got forex and derivatives, and what they do with oracles, where you can literally just have any synthetic asset of about price with the price provided by an oracle, a synthetic of anything. The potential for synthetics in the next decade is to displace the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ. The macro narrative for synthetics, and there's really no one else is even remotely comparable to what synthetics has achieved thus far. So they're really a systemic disruption with almost no competition at this point for synthetic assets. Um, Anyway, so Kava, I grab a bag, and you better be delegating to a validator because that's the way Cosmos works. You have your asset, and you're delegating to a validator, and you're getting interest. Cosmos is an inflationary protocol. Well, frankly, Polkadot is as well. It's a staking, so that means you have emissions. So you have to actually participate in the mechanism, otherwise the inflation reduces the value of your asset, just like the dollar is being destroyed by the printing and it's being inflated to absolute garbage. Just as John something says US dollar is a scam. Whatever it is, I want nothing to do with it. It is pathetic. It is like going into like an electronics store and seeing like new cutting edge tech over here, old tech over here, and being like, oh, I'm going to use the old garbage technology. Oh, man, I love those dollars. They're so shitty. I'm going to use them anyway. Ah. All right, so let's finish up. What am I doing? Um, I have no more time and patience for trading right now. So I have sized my position strategically, and I have a position in Lend, Kyber, Bancor, and I doubled my position in synthetics. So I was in synthetics at 70 cents. This thing's at 570, and I have 820 in escrow. So that was a nice stack. I got like it's like $5,000 right now. Damn. But I doubled that because I like that. I like it even 10. So Bancor, Kyber, Aave. Aave is double the size of the Bancor and synthetics and Kyber position because Aave is just crazy. And I think Aave did a fat reset. I mean, look at this. This chart is crazy. It never hit overbought and never hit oversold in this entire run. I think I think something serious is going to go down with Aave because Aave, there's only one other platform that does anything remotely on their level, and that's Compound. And I think Aave is original. Aave is old school. Aave is the Bancor of the AMM space. You understand, guys? This is a big deal. And for the love of God, don't buy governance tokens. Do not buy Comp, Val, Curve. Don't buy that garbage. Don't speculate on it. Now, sure, if you get it as compensation, I'm going to accumulate this. And once I get to like 1,000 and it's worth $10 and I got a quick 10 grand, I'm going to dump it on someone who wants to buy it. But it doesn't do anything. That's the thing. I guess it does do something because if you lock it, you're able to increase your your emissions, your incentivized emissions. So it does do something for people that are participating in the ecosystem, thus the utility. So, maybe I jump to conclusions when I say it doesn't do anything because it doesn't do anything for me right now because I'm not participating in these yield games. 117%. Wow. This got $1 billion. Curve has $1 billion locked in. Someone's got like $10 million that they're pulling in 110% in Curve returns per year. So this is why this is real deal tech. Now the numbers, the APYs, the ROIs are clearly inflated, and I don't know how long these are going to be sustainable. But what's notable is that it's a real sequence of events. It's a real functionality. These systems are actually doing this. You're not dreaming, ladies and gentlemen. You're not seeing some mirage. This is real. And anyone who possibly tells you crypto is a scam has no critical capacity to digest what they're actually seeing from a technical perspective. They're not able to, let me show you, they're not able to do this. Peer through the foam. They're not able to see what's real through a haze of euphoria and all this insanity. Now, we could peer through the foam for the stock market, and that shit's a house of cards ready to implode. And we peer through the foam here, and we see a technology that's ready to disrupt a deprecated and legacy financial system. I have no idea why OMG pumped. It looks good. I wasn't in it. Next. It's something probably cool. Good for them, whoever made, a couple 100%. Can a sidechain be created which is only for managing UTXO assets on Digibyte? Well, Digibyte can be used as a sidechain, and in fact, that is the use case that I want to see Digibyte used for as a means of record storage and asset management. Now, we'll end on this note. So you have smart contracts, and you could issue tokens, and you could have properties for those tokens, fixed fungibility and non-fungibility, fixed supply, whatever. Point being, why would you do everything on one platform? Best thing is to offload work to distributed systems, to have redundancies. And that's what Digibyte offers, far superior to any other product available in the space. There's absolutely no competition with regard to what Digibyte provides. Digibyte has distributed nodes geographically around the world, providing immutable, redundant copies of all the data. That's basically like RAID 1 global. Come on, guys. Come on. You're talking about like an Amazon data center. Yeah, they probably got backups and they probably have a bunch of redundancies. But with these Digibyte blockchain, you got RAID 1, which is exact copy of data, geographically diversified around the planet. There is no centralized company on this planet that can possibly achieve anything like that. It's not possible. And you're not going to store this stuff. You're not going to store the information on Bitcoin. The transactions are too slow. And that's not the use case. Here's the biggest thing. Let's end on this. I keep saying this. But the stuff is actually being used for is the use case. So people are like, oh, but it's better than Bitcoin. It doesn't matter. Bitcoin is proving to be a store of value. This is the use case. Nothing's going to just miraculously disrupt it. Ripple is better than a lot of crypto technologies. Has nothing to do with its capacity to change reality. That's disillusionment. That's irrational to think that it's going to change. It's not. And if you want to be successful at investing, successful at picking assets that are going to appreciate, you can't be irrational. You have to see what's in front of you and understand it. DeFi is real. Yams are just foam. That shit is foam. Obviously, that's going to fade away into nothing. This is likely euphoria, hundreds of percent. What's realistic? 5% APY, 10% incentives. There's no reason 10% incentives is not unreasonable. These are the digestible numbers that don't seem like crazy. The governance asset, there's a lot of inflation going on with these assets. They're just inflated numbers that are destined to reduce to reasonable numbers. But what is obvious, look at this yield. Anything greater than zero makes the US dollar pathetic and banks deprecated. That's real. So this is real tech. It is not fake. It is not a scam. There's plenty of scams. You go on Uniswap and you look at Dex Tools, you'll see all the garbage out there. And you'll see the white papers, and you'll see the Polkadot assets that have ERC20s that have no parachains and nothing deployed, and it's all smoke and mirrors. And sure, you can make 100%, 200% on your investment. Throw $100 in, you're going to get $200, and that's going to change your life. Or you throw $100 in and you get 1,000%, and you got $1,000, and that's going to change your life. No. What you want to do is be picky, picky, picky. And if you could get a $500 million asset and it goes to $1 billion and it's a real deal tech, and that's 100%, and you put 10 grand in there, there's much less risk. You're managing your risk. You're using rationality to assess your investment and placing value properly and reasonably, and that's 100%. Those are the types of gains you want. What you want to do is you want to take your retirement savings of 50 grand and turn it into 100 grand. And if you could do 100% in a year, that's crazy. I'm up 500%, four and change after this recent pullback. Now it's unrealized gains for IRS purposes, completely unrealized gains. I produce no fiat gains. But the point being, in crypto valuations, it's up this much. I would never be able to do this in the equities market. I don't trust it. I don't understand the tech. I don't understand the way things work. But this crypto shit, this stuff makes sense to me. And so the dollar now buy any asset, John says. I don't know about that yet, but I did say a tweet like that the other day. You'll get to a point where it's just buy anything and it's going to be going up because the market will be fire. And that is what happened in 2017. That is what happened with these DeFi projects. And that is what will happen with all the assets, the remainder, the UTXOs. And what do you think is going to happen to the DeFi projects when Digibyte's going to 50 cents, 75 cents, a dollar 50, $2? What do you think is going to happen to Bancor and Kyber and Ren, where you could take Digibyte and put it into a decent yield-bearing balancer pool that's producing 10% yield? Yeah, that's when these DeFi assets go 10,000 more percent. So anyway, yeah, Unibrite's cool. Unibrite's a big deal. Now Unibrite's up a billion jillion percent. Uh, Look, I got Acro up there. I grabbed a little bit of Acro. It's like $1,000 worth. For me, that's like 0.5% of my portfolio. Unibrite is big deal. This is business right here. It's up 3,000%. Now, bear in mind, it's a 50 million market cap asset. So, don't get thrown off by the 3,000%. But to find an entry, though, you're going to want to look at the charts. You don't just buy something. Uh, so I got my charts up. I find my entries. I pick my entries. Unibrite is disruptive. This is serious tech. Between this and baseline protocol, and this reminds me of like with the BSN. So bear in mind, Brian Brooks talks about letting Silicon Valley do what it's good at, and that's why he wants like Silicon Valley, probably like USDC or GUSD to be the US CBDC. That was a whole lot of acronyms right there. Bam. And this might be the case for what Unibrite and like baseline protocol are as compared to the BSM base. BSM base is designed to baseline, communication, interactivity between protocols, between blockchains, and baseline protocol kind of offers that to businesses. It's a way for tech to interact with one another, and Unibrite offers, graphical tools for businesses. And if I could generalize it, uh, that generally, but Unibrite is a big deal. Chico Crypto talks about them a lot. He probably pointed them out when they were down in the pennies. What are they at? Like 1, 2, 3 cents. These boys are up 30x on the money. Big deal. Which DeFi is robust enough to put ETH in and earn interest? ETH in and earn interest. What I would do is I'd go to the Oasis, make a DAO, grab a CDP, and put your DAI into Aave. But bear in mind, you need to be like 300% over collateralized on your maker CDP to be protected towards the downside. You can use DeFi Saver. DeFi Saver as a protection protocol to automatically rebalance the CDP just in case there's a negative movement. Do they? Yes. No. Where was the smart CDP? Add collateral. Yeah, automate. So keep your CDP at a certain ratio to protect it from liquidation. So this is the type of thing you want if you do something like that. So bear in mind, you could easily get 4, 5, 6, 7, 8% on, let's say you got. So here's the thing: you guys got to be rational. You can't just think you're gonna take $500 and you're gonna retire. It doesn't work like that. And that's just now it's time to get angry at politics and inequality and frustration and how hard we work to accumulate a little bit of money. Because it's not easy to make money. But the fucked up thing is that money makes money. Once you have money, you can make money from your money. Pretty damn easy nowadays. In the equities market, it's just pouring everywhere. In the crypto market, it's frankly pouring everywhere. But if you're at a job making $10 an hour at Walmart, yeah, you're not making money. You're screwed. And that's unfortunate. So $500, you're not going to retire. $1,000, you're probably not going to retire. $10,000, you're probably going to make a fair amount of money over you could turn 10 grand. If you just own Bitcoin, you probably turn 10 grand into a quarter mil over the next couple of years. You're not going to retire on $250,000. Maybe in another country, 100 grand. Now you're changing things. That's a big number. So, but what I just want 5% of my money. I want 5% on 2 mil. 10% on 2 mil is 200,000. 5% is 100,000 a year. I want to be able to replace my salary on a reasonable interest rate. And that's the goal. That's the goal. All right, I'm way over on time. I thank everyone for joining me today. It is always a pleasure. I love talking. I talk too much. I monologue, and I'm probably making everyone's ears bleed. But I thank you so much for staying with me and hearing my thoughts, and I hope everyone appreciates it. And even more so, I hope it helps. I really do, guys. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you guys on Monday. Peace.